Jitin, your 5 seconds was like really.
It's the first time I'm hearing I come from an event management family. Like I've never heard that before.
No, experience is what really counts. Like the more you do it, I think you get better with it.
When you see event manager and they're smiling, as an artist, things are chill and you can.
Going according to plan. There's nothing to worry. We take it very personally.
Everybody in a single voice have said that it's really satisfying. Oh, okay. Sound ma? Oh, it's coming. Hello everybody, welcome back to Beyond COVID, a show which will definitely give you some value add and also some entertainment. That's why I call it the infotainment show. And today I have with me the founder of Wedcrafter, which is an event management company specialized in wedding. They are wedding planners. They also do corporate events. They also take up social events and birthdays and bridal showers and whatnot. I'm really, really happy and proud to be talking to this person today. She's a good friend and one of the best event managers that I've worked with. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, show some love for Swaroopa. Swaroopa, who is the sole master brain behind Wedcrafters. I already finished your intro, Swaroopa. I think what I said was one of the best event management company in terms of the creativity, execution, and ease of doing business. You guys are great. I've worked with you all for more than one event, and I've had like an excellent experience. And
Thank you.
yeah, she is. And we were supposed to have one more person who is our partner, but unfortunately, he's traveling, and we couldn't have him on the show. But welcome to Beyond COVID.
Thank you so much. Pleasure being here.
Excellent. How's things? How's it going?
Going good. As best as it could be right now, I guess.
I know, yeah. Wedcrafters, how did it start? When did it start?
So, Wedcrafter has been around almost close to 7 years now. So I think it all started with like, so my mom used to do it back in the days, like even though it wasn't called wedding planning back then, she used to do. She was the first one to start it, in my in my hometown, and that was back in '87. So I grew up watching her, do all of this, and obviously it was not to the scale at which it is right now, or it wasn't really called wedding planning. But then she used to do it, and sometimes when a couple of times when she was unwell and all that, I on her behalf made a couple of arrangements and all that for like some having to give to someone. So I guess yeah, that was always there at the back of my mind. I guess the flair for it was, I think it was there. But then I worked for I worked in the corporate world for a good 5 years after I finished my masters.
Yep.
So yeah, but then and then I it reached a point where I wanted to get back to following my passion and doing something on my own, and I guess that's how Wedcrafter was born.
That's damn cool. That's one interesting thing that you said, that your mom was into kind of event management, I would say, and that's how you got the passion, and you drove.
My dad
into it.
used to help her with it, and all of that. Yeah. So.
Oh, it's the first time I'm hearing I come from an event management family. Like I've never heard that before.
Not really, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's actually
where it was inspired from. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Now that's an interesting thing, because see, every event manager I've spoken to, they usually say this. Okay, when I ask them about their work, they usually say, "I know it's really stressful. It's really you have to work really hard, but everybody in a single voice have said that it's really satisfying and you're very
Of course,
happy with it's very happy.
absolutely.
So my question was,
It,
and that to me is like a dream job, right? So if somebody is happy with what they're doing, and I don't mind working hard if that work makes me happy. So, and
Mhm.
there is, having said that, there is no like a real degree or an institute that teaches you event management. Of course, there are few in these days, but most of them
There
have
are.
either
Yeah,
like
yeah.
directly come into the event field on their own, or they've just worked with somebody else, and and then they started on their own. I
Yeah.
mean, you're an
Gain some
exception. Your
experience and then.
parents were event managers, but that's cool. So my question is, how can somebody get into this field? I mean, what does it take to be an event manager?
So I guess, see, there are few things. Obviously, if I have to name them, one would definitely be like creativity, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to have that a little bit of that creative streak in you, right?
Yeah.
I would say definitely crisis management sums it up all.
Oh,
Like there's big things that you need to,
yeah,
like
yeah,
be able to do if you're going to be doing event management.
true.
I would also say maybe like attention to detail. I think that is very important
Mm.
because like see, we work with a wide variety of clients. Some may not really be very they don't really focus on the smaller things, but at the same time there are some clients who pay attention to every small detail that goes
Yeah,
into making the event, right? So I think like for me personally, if you ask me, attention to detail is one of the very important I think
yeah,
factors because when you like whether somebody wants it or not, it's more of what you bring to the table, right? Like, or it's more of what you believe in, right?
right.
So I would definitely think attention to detail is something that you should definitely have. I think being like another thing is being really good with people because you're dealing with different kinds of
Yeah,
people throughout, right, day in and day out. So sometimes you have to also be able to empathize with them on certain occasions, right? So
right.
I think empathy definitely, and like also like a good amount of diligence, right? When you have
True.
to have your work executed in a certain way. So I think, like top of my head, I think these would be like the few things that I
And
would
the
say
most
like
important things,
you
right?
should
Yeah,
have.
creativity, attention to details, your diligence, and empathizing with your
Crisis,
clients. Crisis management. How could I forget that? Wow, that's
yeah.
excellent. I think that'll really help. But then, so my, uh, is it something like you can learn on the job, or how do I know if I have that event management in me? Like,
So see, definitely it's not something that theory can teach you, right? In my experience, definitely because I have not done any certification or course in event management when I started off, right? So it's
right,
definitely, if you ask me personally from my experience, I would tell you definitely something you learn on the job. The more you do, you get better with it,
yeah,
but nothing like learning on the job. So you might, like you might learn the other finer things, like smaller things of how, and the theories and all of that, but at the end of it, to be able to do it really well and flawlessly, I think experience is what really counts. Like the more you do it, I think you get better with it.
yeah. You said it very. I mean, it was perfect what you said. So you Wedcrafters kind of specialize in wedding planning, and but you also do kind of corporate events and other events. So if you have to like compare the difference between weddings and corporate events, what would you what would you say would be the major difference, and what is more satisfying to you as an event manager?
See, satisfying, I think any event for that matter goes on well, it's equally satisfying, right? Whether it's corporate or weddings, or even if it's a birthday or a baby shower or whatever it is, right?
Right.
But definitely, if you talk about the amount of work that goes into it, in terms of the
Mhm.
amount of time and effort that goes into it, definitely weddings are much more of a long process, right? Because
Wow.
there's
Okay.
so much. For example, even within India itself, right? Like there
Mm.
are different, while you move across cultures itself, there are so many functions. Like South Indians have, like if they have like say, two or three functions, like North Indians in the same way, time they have maybe 5 or 6 functions. So I'm saying, as you move from state to state itself, the amount of functions that everybody has is so different.
And
So
within
definitely, I
state,
would say
between
weddings
different
are,
ethnicities are also different,
yeah, yeah, exactly. So definitely, weddings are much more. It's a lot more of work in terms of time and effort, but also that much more exciting, because having to customize something, having to create something unique and new for every client, I think that's what is really like satisfying. But corporates are a lot more straightforward in the sense that that these 1, 2, 3 things are what you need to do, and it's much more. I feel it's much more simpler and more straightforward than weddings. Weddings, there are
Okay.
always last minute changes, and something or the other that will come up at the last moment.
I
So
know.
it's a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more.
Lot more efforts in terms of the weddings. And what about the which one? Which one do you consider?
Well, that also depends, right? I would think it's not a lot of difference, but yes, definitely if I have to pick one of the two, then yeah, weddings.
Oh, cool. I don't know why I've been working in corporates here. Should just be getting
But
people married.
corporate side, it is equally good. But I'm saying personally from my
Okay.
experience, it could be
Yeah,
different for
excellent.
somebody else.
But I think what you said was true. In weddings there is a lot of opportunity for creativity, and you can explore and improvise on different
Because
events.
because Gokul, it's not just about decor, right? Like there's also so many allied services that go with it. Like someone wants entertainment, you want a band,
True.
somebody performing. I mean there's like different scales of weddings. So if you
I
see
know.
it that way, like it's got a lot more allied services attached to it, right? Like
Yeah, that
photography,
is true.
videography, invitations, entertainment, and whatnot. So.
Yeah, and these days wedding have become a real thing. Like I have hosted events where I was surprised that oh my god, this is literally like a corporate show. They have like a band, they have like dancers coming
Yeah,
in, like what
yeah,
not, like everything happens in a
yeah,
wedding.
yeah.
Like wow,
True.
that's superb. But you mentioned an interesting point about crisis management, right? So really important. Again, so much of work, so much of hard work before the event and during the process of planning, and again on the day as well. Like there is so much stress involved. How do you
Yeah,
manage
yeah.
that? How do you manage that? And the reason I'm telling you this because I've worked with many event managers, but I have not seen any event manager like Swaroopa. I'll tell you why. Because usually
Being too
the
kind.
no, wait, no, wait. I'll tell you. Usually, in an event, when an event is happening, the only person who doesn't smile throughout the event is the event manager, and their team. They're always on the watch. What is going on? What is going on? Is it fine? This is fine. That is coming. This is coming. I'm like, you
Yeah,
know, th-
yeah. Because
but
something is always
I have, yeah, but Swarupa is the only one who has that smiling face throughout the event. And it's really important and it's really nice because that gives the artist real confidence. I mean, when you see event manager and they're smiling, as an artist, things are
if
chill and you
everything is
can
going according to plan, there's nothing to worry.
exactly. How do you do that? I mean, how do you manage the stress and still keep up that smile?
Um, okay, it's not that there is no stress. Definitely
Of
there
course,
is.
that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess to answer that, I think it really only comes with experience, right?
Mm,
I'm sure on my first event or second event, as much as I was trying to smile really hard, I'm sure it didn't come so naturally, or it didn't look so
right.
natural. So, but yeah, I think as you progress and as you do more and more events, I think you really kind of I'm not saying you have full control, but at least what can go wrong, and sort of like you already know it and you plan for it, so you know that everything's under control. I think that only with time, I think that
That's
comes.
actually a good point. The more events you do and the more ideas or the more knowledge you get about what can go wrong, you can already pre-plan them and you can be relaxed.
Yeah.
It's a great tip for
And
all the
there
event
is no
managers.
100% foolproof plan in any event. Like,
Mm.
for example, even no matter how well you plan, there are chances for something going wrong, but it's all about, with experience, you just know what to back it up with in case something
Right.
really goes wrong.
So Rupert, so this game is called 5 on 5. Okay. So it's actually a very simple game. Okay, I'm going to ask you. You have to name 5 things, right? Whatever I tell you. For example, if I
5 things.
yeah, so I'll give you what you need to name, and you just need to name any 5 of them, but you'll have 5 seconds to name them.
Okay, I have to pick or I have to say 5.
I will tell you. For example, give me 5 fruits. So you have to just say 5 fruit names. Okay. The only thing here is you have to
That's simple. You're going to ask me for 5 fruits.
yeah. So you have to give it in 5 seconds. And since it's like I said, it's a high budget show, so all the background scores will be done by me here. So this 5 seconds will be like this. Okay. Okay. Can you hear that? Cool. So are you ready?
I guess.
Name 5 schools in Bangalore.
Bishop Cotton, St. Joseph's. Okay.
You don't have to name the whole thing. You can just say Cottons, Joseph's, Baldwin's, etc. Okay, good job. You
Yeah.
got 2. Not bad. You have studied
many
in
questions?
both, isn't it?
No. How many questions are really there in the same?
We will see. We'll see based on how your performance goes. Okay. Okay. Name 5 fruits.
Orange, apple, banana, papaya, avocado.
Avocado. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. I'll give that. I'll give that. Great. Good job there. Okay. Name 5 of your friends. Come on. Easy one.
Ashwati, Jatin, Jiti. Your 5 seconds was like really.
You took 3 seconds to give the first name. Ashwati. You could have said anything.
Okay, who do I even start with?
No, you could have said anything. You could have just said Renju, Manju, Chinju, and I would be like, okay, cool.
Okay, never mind.
All right, cool. Give me 5 makeup items or like dressing items that you need on a daily basis.
Okay, toner, moisturizer, cleanser, concealer, foundation. It's not on a daily basis. It's daily.
Yeah, I didn't know you use all of this daily, but excellent.
No, I just thought, okay, I missed the daily part. But
Good, yeah, good. Not bad at all. I thought you're gonna find it difficult, but most of it you got more than 3. Excellent.
You thought I'll wonder for 5 seconds what to say.
That's how you started. All right, congratulations.
Yes, I
Good one,
know.
good one. Okay, wait, yeah. So I was just saying before this, while I was giving you intro that event industry is the worst hit, and it's crazy, right? At least I mean, aviation's also worst hit, but then kind of aviation has slowly started, but event looks like we don't even know when it's going to start again, and it looks like a distant thing for social gathering to happen again. So, how was your first reactions to lockdown? How did you feel?
I mean, first reaction, if you ask me, was we had 2 events that was just 2 weeks away from when the lockdown was announced. So my first reaction to that was, oh my god, like how are we going to like get through that? Like because we didn't know, right? Because it started with a 1 week lockdown and then just went on indefinitely. So yeah.
So I've been following a lot of event companies, and one thing I can clearly see is that especially the people in the corporate space, right? So they have started this virtual events or what they call the green screen events, and it's actually really good. I mean, the way they're executing it, live and bringing the performance artist, and it's excellent. I mean, technology has given way for a lot of creativity within that limitations, right? So, what is your take on the virtual world? I mean, of course, weddings may not happen virtually. I mean, I wonder if that happens also. But so in the corporate space, do you think the virtual events are here to stay, or it's just like for the interim?
I think in the wedding space, I definitely feel like it's only a temporary shift, right? Because we have to, we have to sort of cope with what's happening, and we're trying to make the best of how we can do it.
Yep.
But I think once things get back to normal, definitely see, culturally we are we need people for everything, and even for the smallest of the function, we invite a lot of people. So culturally, we are inclined to having gatherings, and we need people around for the smallest of the things. So I'm sure that as far as weddings and all that are concerned, I'm very positive that it will get back to what it was once this phase is over. However, with corporates, I think it is quite interesting because a lot of them would have kind of realized that, okay, you know what, we can do it this way too, right?
True.
And I feel with corporates, it works out. It would work a lot better for them. So I think to answer your question, I think with corporates, I think there is a good chance that there might be a shift, if not for the entire corporate world, at least for a few of them. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting because it is everything is going digital, and so are events. But yeah, like I said, weddings, I mean, I definitely feel will get back to what it was.
True. And I was going through the Wedcrafter's profile, and I saw this really sweet video where you had done for a couple who had planned their wedding and that wedding didn't happen, and you guys actually pulled out a video to make them happy on the day.
Yeah.
So that's something
Yeah.
really sweet. So how did that come about? I mean, what was the idea behind that?
So see, we know how important that day is, right? And somehow for us, at Wedcrafter, I think something that we've always wanted to do is so basically we take it very personally, in the sense that we understand what it must feel like, and and we wanted to do something very different for them, and because we had connected with both the bride and the groom before that, and obviously they were really upset about it, and I mean, that's only a small portion of what they would have told us, but so we wanted to put something, like, we didn't want that the date to be like a bad memory for them. So it was just a small effort from our side. We thought we should do something to just lighten up their day a little bit. So yeah, so we put that together, and I think they were really happy. We also joined in on a family Zoom call that they had with family and friends soon after they saw the video, and to capture their reactions and everything. And I think just how happy they were seeing the entire thing, I think that made it really, I mean, we were so happy seeing that. So we couldn't have been more glad we put that together. So.
Oh, 100%. I think this is what all wedding planners should aspire to be, because it's not just an event, and it's not just like getting through the day, but you kind of make like personal contacts with your clients, and and they treat you like family. So I think what you did for that client was really amazing and sweet. Superb. So you have done a few weddings in this lockdown restricted atmosphere as well. So for the people who had planned their wedding during this phase and who had to postpone it, if they had to like think about another wedding day, right? So how would it look like, since you've done a few events?
From our side, we have we make sure that like safety protocols and social distancing measures are observed in the weddings that we're doing right now. So for example, one of the things that that we do, other than obviously like having a sanitizer station and all of that, other than that, something else that we do is we make differences in the seating layout. For example, even if it's a 40-50 people wedding, right? We choose a venue which is slightly bigger than which can hold, say, like a 40-50. Pick a bigger venue only for the reason that we're able to spread out and maintain the social distancing between the seating charts. For example, one of the other things that we executed is that so we have seating charts for each of the families who are coming, right, for the wedding. And so, for example, if you're going to be coming with your family to the wedding, we have charted it out in such a way that you will be seated on a particular round table along with your family, because there's no social distancing to be observed between you and your mom and dad.
Yeah,
right.
True, yeah.
So
they're coming from the same place.
So that those kind of smaller pockets were created so that like people are still observing social distancing measures, and that was at the top of my head. That's one of the things. Also, like while how it is in Indian weddings when you crowd to take pictures with the bride and the groom, right?
So is that happening now?
No, that's what I'm saying. No. So one, it's a 40-50 people, but people still want to get pictures with the bride and the groom. So we're not really, we're not really encouraging the long queues next to the, like the stage to like be able to wish the
Right.
bride and the groom. Rather, I mean, even people aren't consciously doing it for one reason, because they're all observing, like social distancing, and they're still going and wishing them much later and things like that. So yeah, these are some of the things that we've been doing.
I think that's good because people who are coming are also well aware of all what's happening around, and they most of them don't try to do stupid things. So I think that's a
Yeah.
really good thing.
I think they're okay with maybe visiting them later and taking pictures, but don't really want to crowd and
Exactly.
go get
Even
pictures.
they want to like come in and finish this and get back fast. So if we have to give an advice to the event companies that are coming up, or who had recently started, or who are still in that smaller phase of growing, and what would you tell them, to hang around in this situation and to sustain?
Firstly,
What advice?
hang in there. It's only a temporary phase, and not get disheartened with the way things are going right now, because the bigger picture is really good. And I would say no event is too small, right, or too big at the moment. So I would say, whatever event or whatever work that you get, I mean, unless and until if it's of course not possible, don't say no to it, because that all again adds to your experience, which is why I said no event is too small. So, and yes, like things will definitely get better. It's just a bad phase. And another good advice would be to basically spend time that you have right now to make your social media really active. So
Active.
work on
Okay.
yeah. So basically, put out get in your social media space a lot better. Work on putting out your work, putting out content, and all of that. So I think, because normally when season starts getting really busy for us, we don't really find too
That is
much
true.
time to be able to dedicate to this. So I think a
Yeah.
good thing to do is use this time to basically take advantage of this time to basically do that.
Yeah. That's excellent. I think that you have literally broken down for people who are kind of struggling through this phase for the smaller companies. That's sweet. So one thing I did speak about Wedcrafters a little bit, but if I were to ask you, how does Wedcrafters beat their competition? How would you put it across?
So if you ask me, it's we do it like it's a function at home or something
Yeah.
like that. Right, if I could say that, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that definitely designs is one thing. Like we do customize for every client. We customize something new, right? So
Yeah.
designs are unique, right? And for me, the highlight would definitely be we're the first ones to be there at the venue, and the last ones to leave. And I
Yeah.
think one good thing that is that we've kept this consistent over the last almost 7 years. There's not a single event that we haven't been a part of from the start to the end. So
True.
we've not just delegated it and like just come and like just seen the setup and left. We've been there from the time it started till the time it's done and the family has left. We've been a part of every event that we've done so far. So I guess maybe that would be that.
That's amazing, and I can vouch for it because Wedcrafters are the best in terms of the creativity, in terms of the execution, and in terms of ease of doing business with. And I'm not just saying because she's here, Wedcrafters is here, but I'm really saying it genuinely. These guys are the best. So people who are planning to get married in the next 1 year and wondering about what to do, how it's going to be, please just randomly call this person. I'll put all the details, and she will make sure you're happy. She will make sure she has a way for your wedding. She has a way for your event that is coming up. So thank you so much, Swaroopa, for
Most
all
welcome.
what you've said.
No,
Cool.
but it was, it's been a pleasure. I have to say this. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you as well. And I know we've said this earlier, but we've got some amazing feedback. Even for like how well you've been, at conducting the event. It's like he's a ball of energy, and let's get him back for the next event. And so you've also been really amazing at whatever events that we've done and we worked with you. So yeah. Thanks for that.
Wow, testimony. Sweet. Thank you,
It
man.
is
Thank you
good,
so
it is
much.
good.
So thank you so much, Swaroopa. I know we have spoke a lot of times to get you into the show, but finally you made it. I'm really happy and heartwarmed to have you here. Wishing you all the best for all what's going to come up
Thank
for
you.
you guys, and hope this whole thing turns
Thank you
around
so
and
much.
we can see some amazing weddings around.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Go on.
Thanks for inviting me onto the show, and yeah, it's been a pleasure being here, and yeah, hope to work soon with you, and hope everything gets back to normal soon.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
yes. Okay, thank you. Bye. Have a
bye
good day. Yeah?
bye.
All right, that was Swaroopa from the Wedcrafters. Again, such a gem of a person, an amazing event manager, like I already mentioned. I'll put all the details, I'll put all the work in the description below. But thank you for watching another episode of Beyond COVID. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.